Michael, tough way to play defense, probably feeling like you didn't have much of a net to play with today. How hard is today's game for a defense to play?
At the end of the day, our job is to give the offense as many opportunities as possible, and some self-inflicted wounds on our end that we left some opportunities out there that we didn't get the offense the ball, and they went on those drives, and those got those couple of points that ended up being more points than we had at the end of the day. And so defensively, it's just being detailed and focused and good communication, because it's going to be sloppy sloppy footing and things like that, hard-nosed football. So just being better at communication and things like that.
Big picture, you see teams having to deal with tough losses like this all over the league. This is nothing new, right? So in a 17-game season, at some point, you might have one of these. What is the key for a team to deal with this mentally and move on the way that this group has to?
Yeah, I think as football players, we're all pretty have short-term memory and everything like that, especially on defense, because, when things happen, you got to get back out there and play the next play and things like that. So, tomorrow we'll definitely be critical of everything that we need to look at, evaluate ourselves, be honest with each other, and then put it in the rear, short-term memory and focus on the task at hand, and that's, going to London and coming out with a W.
Final question. When you go back and look at the tape, where do you think that honesty leads you? What do you think the learning lessons will be for your defense coming out of this one, knowing that you've got a much different task ahead of you in a couple of weeks, or at least, next week? It'll feel like 2 weeks away, going all the way to London to play that game, but against an offense that has some different level weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for us, really just we don't have to be perfect, but we all just need to make sure we're on the same page. We're all right. We're all right, and if we're all wrong, we're all right. So just making sure we are on the same page, and I feel like that'll help us, play at the level we're supposed to be playing at.
Here with Braelon Allen. Braelon, what's the messaging among players and coaches after a game like today?
I think it's just comes down to self-inflicted wounds, and we all can play better. I know personally I didn't play to my absolute best. I didn't run as hard as I could have, and could have made more plays. So it's all you're not pointing the fingers. You just look in the mirror, figure out what you can do better, and turn the page.
You mentioned self-inflicted wounds. As a team, 13 penalties. What goes into trying to correct something like that?
I guess it's really just focus. It's out of character for us, and especially for the guys that we have. And like I said, I think it's just focus and being locked in on the cadence and what you got to do, regardless of the noise. But it's not much, more than that.
How frustrating is it as an offense not to be able to find the end zone with the personnel that you guys have?
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, we had the penalties and stuff that set us back, and then the weather didn't help at all either. So. Just kind of a tough day, but like I said, you just get back to practice, look in the mirror, and try to figure out what you can do better.
You're a rookie, but you come with this very mature mindset. Just what are the vets in the locker room tell players like you as rookies, just to try to put this one behind you and look ahead to the next game?
They don't really need to tell me too much. Honestly, it's something that I've had my fair share of losses, throughout college and stuff, and there's always, trying to play better the next week. You kind of just develop that over time. So, they don't got to tell me too much. I've kind of already adopted that mindset.
Here with Quincy Williams. Quincy, obviously not the result that you guys wanted. What did you think that this team struggled with today?
Elements. We're going to say the elements first off. But, it ain't really no excuse. The biggest thing, pre-snap penalties, we kind of hurt ourselves. That was the main thing. And then also on defense, towards the end, the two-back runs, the biggest thing is like finishing, so being disciplined in our two-back runs, and then also just getting them down also. So I felt like towards the end, the defense, we kind of like got undisciplined because we was just too excited, moving fast and things. So at the end of the day, it's all about finishing. My philosophy is we should be able to win the game 3-0. So then another thing, getting turnovers, man, getting the offense the ball more. So anytime we get a loss, bro, I'm always harp on like what the defense did first. What I did first and what I can be better at, and then what do we do collectively as a defense, you feel me?
What about this defensive performance? Obviously, you said like tackling in the run game and kind of letting that get out of hand, but what did you like about it leading up to that?
Oh, the excitement, man. Our biggest thing this week was starting fast. The last couple of games we was harping on not starting fast. Talked about it during the week. I feel like we started fast this week. The biggest thing now is just finishing, being disciplined, not letting our highs get too highs and our lows get too low, just coming back in, sudden changes and things.
What was Coach Saleh's message to the team in the locker room?
Discipline. That's the main thing. Discipline as far as like the pre-snap penalties, period. Discipline as far as like being on our keys, offense, defense, and special teams. Then being disciplined in the run, finishing as a defense also.
In your eyes, what is the next step that you guys have to take, whether it's as a team or just as a defense, before you head overseas to take on the Vikings?
Discipline. Discipline and finish, that's the main thing. And not beating ourselves, putting ourselves in a position where we're on even plays with another team, not us behind the 8 ball, because we put ourselves there.
Awesome. Appreciate the time, Quincy.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.